In this segment, Stephanie Miller welcomes Dean Obadiah to the show. Together, the two discuss the shocking dismissal of the stolen documents case and where Jack Smith may go from here. Stephanie?
This hearing today and these hearings before Judge Cannon are anything but normal. She's been entertaining days of arguments about whether the special counsel is unconstitutional, which is pretty much a laughable argument. I had the privilege of drafting those special counsel regulations back in 1999, a long time ago. And I can tell you that we went and presented them to the House and Senate leadership, including the Republicans, including the top Republican lawyers for the House and Senate. Everyone thought they were constitutional. Nobody thought there was any possible problem. And indeed, as you said, this question's been repeatedly litigated, repeatedly lost. This is an enormous waste of time. And I'd say these are specious arguments, but I think actually that's too generous. There's no plausible interpretation of the regulations or the precedent and tradition that surrounds them that would justify the way Judge Cannon has entertained these arguments so far.
Harry Littman, our friend, basically said this Cannon dismissal of the Trump criminal case is the first Project 2025 opinion. And she obviously got the idea from Clarence Thomas, who did a little, winky. Right. He basically suggested it to her, I believe. Littman said Merrick Garland could simply authorize the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida to take over the case, but such a move could feed allegations of impartiality. Oh, dear God, we'd hate to be rude, wouldn't we, Routine?
Absolutely. Clarence Thomas put that in his concurring opinion in the January 6th case, and this judge followed, Judge Cannon. Let's remember, too, Clarence Thomas has talked about ending marriage equality and anything else that's substantive due process in another concurring opinion. So people should be on guard that these opinions these justices make, it might not affect things right away, but it plants seeds in lower court judges. So Judge Cannon, I think everyone knows this, 8 other judges consider this very issue. Special counsel, is it appropriate to be appointed by DOJ? They said yes every time. Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah. So Harry went on to say, I think he's done a full service to Trump because the 11th Circuit, I doubt, has time to reverse this before the election. The state of play for now is it's been reversed. That check is now paid in full on her part. The very best she could have done for him. The 11th Circuit ought to reverse it unless, of course, Trump becomes president, in which case he'll just say goodbye and order the DOJ to stand down. It is... Dean, I don't even know if it's more gobsmacking than the Supreme Court's immunity ruling, but the fact that someone could steal our national secrets, probably disperse them, God knows, disseminate, sell, whatever he's done. Right. And we just have to go, okay, well, never mind.
Well, right? Look, in this case, the statute of limitations hasn't run. Donald Trump can still be charged. Right. It's true, if he wins, he'll never be prosecuted. I hope Jack Smith brings his case in D.C., goes to a grand jury in Washington, D.C., That's where this case should have been venued anyway. That's where the documents were taken from. The district court judges in D.C. are very familiar with classified document cases. They're very well versed in this. They can move a case along. It's annoying. It shows a corruption of our system. But at the same time, we were never getting this trial before Election Day. Yeah. She had already stopped it. So it was not like, oh, no, there goes that. It's unbelievable. But Stephanie, look in the big picture. He appoints this judge, and she returns the favor, and she's auditioning for the Supreme Court. If he wins, she's on the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt, at least the Court of Appeals.
It's like unreal. Glenn Kirshner just said to us, we are the jury now. That's it. Election day, we're the jury. It's the only way we have, because I agree with you, is I do think this could be the thing that gets her removed, ultimately. I think you're right. There's not going to be a trial before the election. But right. I think she has overstepped. I think this court, the 11th, is going to slap her down again. I mean, what do you think the chances are that this is finally the overstep that could get her removed?
Look, it's up to Jack Smith to make a motion to have her, involuntarily recused. Maybe this doesn't, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
But if it does, again, it'll be after the election. We hope that we defeat Donald Trump. And that this just takes its normal course. And a year from now, there's a trial with a different judge.
Yeah.
It's only because of the election that we want this to happen.
Right.
Donald Trump should have never been the nominee. I mean, this is unreal. If you take a step back, Steph, how surreal. A guy attempts a coup, incites a terrorist attack, and he is the nominee for the party and leading in many polls. How lost are we as a nation that this is happening?
Did you know you had a bad debate? Did you know that? Did you know you're old? Do you know you're old? Hey, do you know you're old? Should you drop out? Do you drop out? Do you think people still think you should drop out? Oh, my God. I mean, what do we, he had this great rally on Friday. The story was Joe Biden's comeback, right?
Yeah, great rally. Yep.
I mean, what about
it? Was great.
I feel like one of the only things that should matter. July 2020 unemployment rate 10.2%. July 2024 4.1%. I mean, who is it? Professor Lichtman has been screaming. All the key indicators show Biden's going to win. Just Democrats, get it together. Hey,
well, look, that's the media doing their thing. I like when Biden does that kind of I call it the Backstreet Boy Biden, where he whispers, he's like, girl, he's like, America, you are my fire.
I think it's more the Clint Eastwood, right?
A little bit. It's a cross between the two, because there is the Red Bull Biden, which we all like that, the hopped up Biden. But I like the Backstreet Boy Biden, where he just leans in on the podium. He's like, America.
And whispers.
I love you. You know I love you. Girl. That guy's like, girl, that's right. What can I say? I want it that way. Exactly. So that's how he does it.
Do I have 5 or 6 shots left, Lester?
Lester.
Do you feel lucky? Punk. Okay.
I think Dean's reference is a little more current than yours.
Whatever.
A little.
No, but I remember Clint Eastwood. Listeners to this show know Clint Eastwood from that Dirty Harry.
Before he was talking to the empty chair.
Exactly.
He was, okay. All right.
Chris, on your TikTok with all the children you talk to, but with the adults here, we don't know.
Okay. All right.
But you just write, as you do so eloquently, Dean. You said, "Dear corporate media, Biden has denounced violence while Trump has incited and celebrated it." You just said, the corporate media, both sidesing this political violence. It's not just wrong; it makes us less safe. The leader of the Democratic Party, President Joe Biden, has repeatedly denounced political violence. The leader of the GOP, Trump, incites, defends, and celebrates violence on his behalf. I mean, we've already played Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, spare us with this our conventions about unity. What you mean is you want us to unite behind Donald Trump and just fall in line, right? I mean,
it's not good. Exactly. And look, I mean, Donald Trump, I keep trying to make the point. I think it's so jarring. He opens most of his rallies with the announcement, and I'll read it. Yeah. Please rise for the horribly and unfairly treated January 6 hostages. Then plays a choir, the January 6 choir, who are in prison for beating up police officers, sing the national anthem. And then he talks about calling them his warriors now, and that he's going to pardon them. This is a very dangerous man. And J.D. Vance, like Trump, has raised money for the January 6 terrorists. Yeah. And that's like raising money for Al-Qaeda operatives after 9/11. That's how I view it. If you're in jail now, you're a bad person. The ones who did minor things, trespassing, they're done. They're out of the system already. They got probation. They got 6 months. The ones still in jail are seditious conspiracy people, Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, the worst of the worst, the ones who brutally beat up police officers. And you're defending them as warriors. Yeah. This is again. I take a step back and I ask, how did we get here as a country?
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like just the right-wing fever swamps. As you say, Republican Representative Mike Collins claimed Joe Biden sent the orders for the shooting. They are fully aware these words can incite violence, but violence is part of MAGA's playbook. So, spare me with these articles, we're all MAGA now. No.
Oh, no.